You are tuned in to On Air with Chris Shanafelt. Welcome back On Air with Chris Shanafelt as we continue our Player Spotlight series with the 2020 NFL Draft Class. And I'm now joined by one of the top wide receivers in the country by way of the University of Rhode Island. He's Isaiah Coulter. And Isaiah, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat this evening. How's everything going?
No problem. Everything's good. I'm doing good. Just up at just back home working out and things like that. Just staying in shape.
Absolutely, staying ready so you don't have to get ready, as they say. And Isaiah, I'm sure every interview you've done probably started the same way. It's not every year we see somebody from the FCS ranks forego their senior season. You're not alone this year. I know Monmouth running back Pete Guerrero did the same thing. He's entering the NFL draft after his junior season. Why did you feel it was best for you to enter the draft this year despite still having that year of eligibility remaining at URI?
I just felt as though I was ready mentally and physically, and I had a long talk with my family and talked to my coaches, and that's just the decision I came up with.
And before you made that decision, you talked about it, you talked with your family. This is obviously a decision you thought long and hard about. Did you receive a draft grade by the NFL at all? Did that persuade your decision at all?
I didn't receive a draft. I didn't fill out the form for it, but I knew I had interest from other teams and things like that.
And you're coming off of a career year in which you hauled in 72 receptions for over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns. You produced more and more after year for the Rhode Island Rams, Isaiah. What were your goals for this past season? I know as a team you would have liked to have finished better. You guys finished 2-10 on the season, but how would you grade the season you had individually, and did you reach any of your goals or expectations that you had set out?
I didn't have any individual goals. I just wanted to, of course, just have a great year, help my team win. I just wanted to try to get to the playoffs and whatever, make a run from there. But I kind of just let my play and my hard work do the talking for me. So I try not to put too much pressure on myself and that point of it. So that's how I kind of go into the season.
Well, it seemed to work out for you. 72 receptions, over 1,000 yards, 8 touchdowns. The game against Virginia Tech is going to be the one that everybody points to, Isaiah. That was, of course, the matchup you reeled in. 9 catches, 152 yards. What was the atmosphere like in that game, playing in a stadium that holds over 65,000 fans, preparing for that game? Was it different at all? Walking onto the field to warm up during pregame, I mean, was the vibe different at all, being able to play this FBS program such as VodTech and to have the success that you did, Isaiah? Again, 9 for 152. Where will that performance rank in terms of your all-time favorite college performances?
I would say, I'm going to answer your first question. The atmosphere was crazy. Just seeing all those fans, I think that was probably the most fans I ever played in front of. So just taking on that challenge and just giving it my all. We went into the week the same way we went into every other opponent, but we knew it was a big game, and we had to go out there and give it our all. So, what was your second question?
In terms of all-time favorite college performances, being able to reel in 9 catches, 152 yards. You guys were in that game all the way to the very end. To have that type of an impact against a team like Virginia Tech, where does that performance rank in terms of your all-time college performances?
I would say it's probably number one, just because it was Virginia Tech and just all the fans and the big crowd they had, we were playing in front of. So it was probably number one just because I had a good game as well. So
again, we're chatting with 2020 NFL Draft prospect, wide receiver out of the University of Rhode Island, Isaiah Coulter. And Isaiah, when you hear that 2020 NFL Draft prospect, what kind of goes through your mind? I mean, when did it hit you that you had a legit shot at furthering your football playing career at the professional level? Here you are now. We're just weeks away from the start of the NFL draft. Is it almost surreal at this point?
Yeah, definitely. Just getting to this point. Just coming out early, and you never really know what's going to happen. You just kind of got to take a chance and bet on yourself. And luckily, everything's been in my favor. And when it hit me, I would have to say when I got the combine invite, just getting that. I've been watching it since I was a kid, so that was a big moment for me.
And, picking it up right there, Isaiah, a few weeks ago, you were in Indianapolis as you received that invite to the NFL Scouting Combine. There you measured in at almost 6'2", 198 pounds. You ran a 4.45 40-yard dash to go with a 7.28 three-cone, 36-inch vertical, and a 10-foot 1-inch broad jump. What was your reaction to receiving that NFL Combine invite? As you said, it's an event that you grew up watching, and when you get that invite, you're among the best in the draft class. And are you satisfied with the numbers that you put up?
I was excited when I got it. I couldn't wait to just get there and get things started and get things going. And I was cool. It's not exactly what I wanted to get. I wanted to get a 43 in my 40, but 4.4, I'll take it. So it's all good.
Yeah, hey, your stock has been going up since. And again, overall, those seem to be very solid numbers, to say the least. To be going through this process along with your cousin, fellow wide receiver Aaron Parker, Isaiah, who you also played alongside with at Rhode Island. You two were one of the top wide receiver duos in the country. What has that been like to play at the D1 level with your cousin? You both get the invite to the NFL Combine. That's got to be pretty incredible to watch each other's dreams come true right in front of your own eyes.
Yeah, it's crazy. I still can't even really wrap my mind around it. The fact that we ended up at the same school, playing the same position, right beside each other, and then we all both got invited to the combine, and it's crazy. So, but it's good. You got a family member, and I look at him as like he's my brother. So, this whole process, it's just crazy for both of us, and we definitely grateful for it, and we don't take it for granted.
Yeah, and especially to be coming from the University of Rhode Island. As I mentioned, Rhode Island had 3 participants in the NFL Scouting Combine, which was, there weren't too many more schools that had more than you guys there. So to be able to do that from a smaller school in the FCS ranks, definitely opening up a lot of eyes. If you don't mind sharing, Isaiah, who were some of the teams that you met with at the NFL Combine? What were those conversations like? And every year we hear about teams asking some off-the-wall questions. Did you by chance get asked anything that you weren't expecting or that surprised you at all?
I met with a lot of teams at the combine. Just the informals. The informals. Probably know it's like 20 teams. But the questions, I didn't get no off the wall questions. They mainly were just about about myself and how I grew up and things like that. Nothing crazy that I could think of. Yeah, but I think So it was cool. I didn't experience no crazy questions, luckily. So.
That's always a probably a good feeling. Kind of always feeling comfortable, not getting thrown off by any questions. No doubt about it. A few more questions for Isaiah Coulter, the wide receiver out of the University of Rhode Island, 2020 NFL draft prospect. And Isaiah, this is arguably the top wide receiver class that we've ever evaluated. What do you think separates you from a lot of these other guys who are being discussed this year?
I would just say just coming from a smaller school, playing with a chip on my shoulder, and just knowing that nothing's given, you got to earn everything. So I just go out there and try to compete every chance I got, because I know it's other people that wish they were in this position as well.
No doubt about it. And for those not familiar with your game, Isaiah, what would you say is your biggest strength as a wide receiver?
I would say definitely my releases off the line and my route running. I feel like I can run any route that's on the tree, and definitely that. And I have natural hands as well, so I feel like I'm an all-around receiver.
Who would you say you model your game after? Is there a current or former wide receiver that you take bits and pieces of their game and add it onto your own?
Definitely AJ Green. That's a guy I like to watch, and I feel like we got similar body types, and he's great. So I try to take different pieces out of his game and throw it into mine.
Well, certainly certainly one of the best wide receivers in the league, so you cannot go wrong with that. Obviously, an injury-rattled season last year, but certainly looking forward to seeing him bounce back. All right, here's a good one. Defensive back you're looking forward to going one-on-one against the most at the next level?
I haven't even thought of it. Probably like Richard Sherman or Stephon Gilmore, one of those guys.
Final question for you, Isaiah. I really appreciate you taking the time. It's a question I end all of my prospect interviews with, and that is, let's say we have all 32 NFL general managers. They're listening to this very interview. Why should they want the wide receiver out of the University of Rhode Island, Isaiah Coulter, a part of their team?
I would definitely say my demeanor. I'm dependable, and I'm accountable, and I want to be great. So I feel like those are some key traits that I have and I bring to the table.
Well, I don't think anything else needs to be added there. Isaiah, I really do appreciate you taking the time this evening. We're only 36 days away from the start of the 2020 NFL Draft, so really looking forward to seeing what your future holds, and again, wishing you all the best, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it for having me.